Hello and welcome. Today on BOI Weekly, federal government in partnership with the Bank of Industry and other stakeholders launches transport sector track of its 75 billion naira survival fund and guaranteed offtake scheme. The initiative is designed to shield MSMEs in Nigeria from the impact of COVID-19, as no fewer than 4,500 private transport businesses are expected to benefit in each state of the federation, including the FCT. Now, the launch and engagement event, which took place simultaneously in Abuja and 3 other locations, also provided a unique opportunity for transport operators to interact with government on issues of interest. On this edition, we will bring you reports from Lagos, Katsina, and BOI states. I'm Kayode Alayande. Welcome to the program. The year 2020 is one many across the world would never forget in a hurry. In many respects, it came with a lot of drama. Thankfully, there are those who can still say it was not all gloom and doom, as we're beginning to spot light at the end of the tunnel. At least over 330,000 micro, small and medium enterprises in Nigeria would be able to say the year is ending on a high note, many thanks to the federal government for providing a 75 billion naira survival fund targeted at artisans and transport sector players all over the country. The artisan track, which was launched on October the 1st, has already been executed, in which over 150,000 businesses were supported.
For more information, you can also take my number.
Today, the federal government is taking its post-COVID-19 intervention effort to another level by launching the transport sector track of the MSME Survival Fund and Guaranteed Offtake Scheme. The initiative is launched simultaneously in Abuja, Lagos, Katsina, and BOI states. The Bank of Industry is one of the major partners with the federal government on this effort, and the MD CEO of the bank, Mr. Olukayode, is the host of the Lagos event. All classes of transporters, relevant trade unions and cooperative societies in the transport sector, namely ride-share drivers, that is Uber, Bolt and other e-cab hailing services, taxi drivers, bus drivers, keke napep riders, Okada riders and cart pushers all have a place in this initiative. This event also serves as an opportunity for stakeholder management. The president of Professional E-Hailing Drivers and Private Owners Association, PEDPA, begins on a note of gratitude.
I want to say a big thank you to the organizer of this event. It is a welcome development. It is our approach to develop our community, our approach for government to remember the people of the community that they are there for their interest. Thank you so much.
One of the major highlights of the Survival Fund is that 45% of the slots in this initiative is reserved for women. It's therefore worthy of note that women groups within the transport associations under the aegis of the Female Drivers Association of Nigeria are not left behind. Their representative, Nkechi Anyagwa, highlights the group's mission.
The aim of our association is to promote gender equality and also to help eradicate unemployment, especially among women. And we also have the target to help in minimizing the rate of human trafficking, because we all know that transportation is one of the means that they use in, carrying out all these atrocities. So our vision is to make sure women are heard. We want to be the voice of the women in the transportation industry.
After the initial comments, the MD CEO, Bank of Industry, Mr. Olukayode, goes ahead to introduce and launch the fund.
The program that we are about to launch is one of the programs of the President, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, who, because of the the pandemic, coronavirus pandemic, and the negative effects of that, felt that Nigerians needed to be assisted, especially the MSME companies, the medium, the micro, small, and medium enterprises. And there are many, many different tracks of this assistance from federal government. The one we're about to launch today is the transport scheme. Initially, the artisans and the transporters scheme were one. But the other half of it, the artisans, has started. Because the idea was that between the artisans and the transporters, both combined, all over the nation, we're looking at about 330,000 self-employed people that the government planned to support with this scheme. Artisans have started in about 24 states now, and the last track of the artisans will take place also in the next 1 week. But the one we're talking about today are the transporters, because we also need to have some assistance. People that drive buses, that drive cars, Uber, Bolt, taxi drivers, keke, napep people, Okada riders, and cart pushers. Under this track, once you qualify, then the person is entitled to up to 30,000 naira. That's the amount each person is going to get. We are not working with individuals. As much as possible, we would like to work with associations. So today, I've just come to discuss that this transport scheme is being launched today to take off from today.
The MD also highlights the major requirement for benefiting from the fund.
What do you need to have to be eligible for this transport scheme? One, you have to be a Nigerian, and I'm sure we're all Nigerians here. Number two, you must have a verifiable BVN, because the money will be sent to your bank. So each person that will benefit from this must have a verifiable BVN number. Number three, you must be a transport sector self-employed business person or MSME. You must be associated with the transport sector of the economy. Number four, you must belong to a transport association. And the last one is that once we know you belong to any of the associations, we are going to enumerate people from the various associations. And it's on a first come, first served basis until the money has been fully disbursed. We also have targets per state, which means, each state has a certain minimum. So it's not a matter of, if for instance, everybody were to apply in Lagos State for all of this money, they will not all get it, because all the 36 states must be reached. That's the way it works. At least for every state, at least 4,500 people. Because when you're talking of artisans and the transport scheme, we are talking about 330,000 people nationwide. But those are two schemes. So half of this number of people we are talking about will be for the transporters, which means on the average, at least in every state, at least 4,500 people will benefit minimum in each state. And the terms are very clear.
Expectedly, the potential beneficiaries have questions as the event proceeds to allow for clarification on a few specific details.
My name is Kolawole Aino from the Professional E-Hailing Drivers and Private Owners Association. Please, my question is, what are the responsibility of union in order to make sure that their members get all this fund? What is expected from this union? Is there going to be any body that will connect the union with your bank, or what are the process?
As much as possible, we want to work with the unions. Why? Because they have a list of their members. They can confirm that this person is their member. So this meeting is called for that purpose. Our people will get in touch with the various unions, and the unions can get in touch with us, the unions in that sector. And they should encourage their members to apply. What we're asking for, these are not difficult documents for anybody who is doing business. We expect people to have a bank account. Because we have no bank account, and we claim that we have paid you, people are going to ask us, the person that you paid, is the person a ghost? So we need to have a bank account, a BVN. And associations will confirm to us that that person is a member of the association. The other question you have not asked, are there some people who are not yet in the associations? We encourage them to join associations. But if they do apply on their own, we still have to check with the association they claim they belong to, whether these people are actually known to them. Because this scheme is to help people in the transport sector.
My question goes thus: is the 30,000 naira a one-time payment empowerment?
Yes, it is. It's just like a grant to assist.
The MD Bank of Industry also sounded a note of warning to potential beneficiaries to be wary of criminal elements who might want to use the opportunity to scam unsuspecting applicants. The scheme is a grant.
You should not pay anybody to get this thing like you want to register yourself. It is free. If anybody is asking you for money, that person is not from us.
Even though this is a grant that the federal government is executing through the Bank of Industry, the MD takes the opportunity to introduce the transporters to other intervention options they can benefit from as transporters at the Bank of Industry.
The government is doing all they can to ensure that they bring smiles to the faces of Nigerians. But we know that this is just palliative, which is why it's being run through Bank of Industry, which is an agency of government also. The truth is that we have so many other programs. Those are not grants. This is a grant, whereby people can actually benefit, to be in business, to expand their businesses. So if you have members who have interest in buying vehicles, who have interest in expanding what they are doing, then please contact any of the BOI offices, and then we'll let you know about the other programs that we have. They are not grants, but the interest rates are very reasonable. The interest rate of Bank of Industry, in most cases, usually does not exceed 9% per annum. And in an environment like this, that can really help.
Clearly, the transport sector is a male-dominated industry. These ladies on wheels express gratitude to the government and share their unique field experiences as female transporters.
This is the very first time that we're having an opportunity to partake in government support financially, and it's a good one. We appreciate it a lot.
I didn't want this to be just one-time empowerment scheme for we in the transport sector. And I also would like the government to give us cars. Like most of us, like 60% of the hailing drivers, they have their cars on rental, hire purchase, So it's not really easy. We have a family as well. We have to pay rent. Mostly we are working for our partners. So if we have our own cars, you understand, we'll be able to do more for ourselves and to the community as well. Because we are remitting to ourselves. So if the government can empower us with cars, or probably they can give us, instead of as an HP car, you understand, the car that your partner can give you for like 5 million naira, the government can just give us like 2 million naira. You understand? It's so encouraging for us.
It's a great idea. It's a welcome idea because I know it's going to help a lot of females, because I'm going to come from the aspect of the females that are doing this job. A lot of them are really struggling, getting cars and everything. So with this aid, it will help them have their own or own their own car, and the payments will go at, they pay at a reasonable amount will be paid, and that will make life better for us.
The group's representatives and the potential beneficiaries of the fund also bear their minds on the initiative, and they have requests as well.
If we have been doing things like this right from time, there's every tendency that by today, we'll not be talking of giving 30,000 to individuals. We'll have gone past that level. But we thank God for where we are, that at least we are starting somewhere, and this will go a long way to alleviate the pains of the drivers also. How do I mean? Presently because of this COVID-19, a lot of drivers are facing different challenges. Challenges ranging from reduction in income which might even lead to individuals losing his business. Somebody who is on hire purchase, who got loan to get some cars, not meeting up with the targets. Somebody who is on renter, delivering, not meeting up with targets. All these things, at the end of the day, a lot of drivers are in serious problems, so to say. But with this, I believe that, okay, even if it is to buy one or two things at home, why they still look for other means to augment the whole thing, at least is a welcome development.
It's quite encouraging for the drivers, for what we have been going through over 6 months. Some are inside, some are cannot do anything. Even if you collect that money to do one or two things in your car, it is much more better than nothing. During COVID-19, everybody knows that it is not an easy task for everyone, and it is not the thing that we are expecting. It just came, and we just embraced it like that. We are at home, we cannot go anywhere, and for our job, we know that when we go out, we transport Mr. A to Mr. B destination. We cannot do that one. Even in fact, if you can take the letter from government that you are going to do something, you cannot work. For now that they release that ease for our work, we are very, very happy. We are very, very grateful. So that we are doing a lot of things. We want government to do more for us.
From the back of industry, we were told that about 4,000 to 5,000 from each state, and based on the numbers of PEDPA alone in Lagos State, we are more than 10,000 active members, meaning that it won't circulate, but it's quite commendable. At least there's still maybe 2,000 to 3,000 based on our preparation and arrangement with them. Yes, and we reach out to our member, and we'll still apply for more anyway, because it's part of the responsibility of government to cater for their people. Because due to unemployment rate, that is why people key into this job, and it's imperative for government of the day, yes, and to look into a sector that needs to be groomed, that need to be reminded, that need to be remembered for all these kind of social benefit to help them, yes, and to augment their style of living, to improve their style of living.
As the transport track of the MSME Survival Fund was being launched in Lagos and Abuja, the event was simultaneously taking place in Katsina. The Director General, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDAN, briefed the press at the town hall meeting.
What we are coming to do is to sensitize the leadership of these transport workers or transport associations, including Keke Napep, Okada riders, Uber drivers, taxi drivers, cart pushers, and NURTW. So the essence is to curb the effect of the COVID-19 due to the lockdown that affected the sector. And in each state of the federation, 4,500 people are benefiting. So we distributed this equal number throughout the states of the federation, and we are doing everything possible to ensure transparency, and that was the reason why we did a stakeholders meeting to ensure that everybody is aware of the procedures and all the requirement that is needed. The only requirement is to be a Nigerian and to be a member of that association and to have a bank account and a BBN number, as well as to register with the association you belong to.
Mr. Ibrahim Jikamshi, Director General, Katsina Investment Promotion Agency, is the focal person for the Survival Fund partnership with Katsina State. He enumerates the impact areas of the Survival Fund intervention.
We have already done what we call the payroll scheme. Under the payroll scheme, it takes care of the those that have company. The idea is to assist them to pay, to cushion the associated effects of salaries of their staff. We have done that, and then we have also done the artisans aspect. The artisan aspects are those that have professional trades like GSM repairs, carpenters, welders, barbers, fashion designers, and whatnot. The transport truck target purposely the owners of tricycle, Okada riders, NURTW, petroleum tankers drivers, truck pushers, and the like. Katsina State has done very well because we are able to educate, enlighten, and sensitize the general public. In Katsina State here, we target to formalize 6,000 businesses under the CAC. The idea is to bring them into the formal setting and to link them up with financial system so that they will be able to draw a lot of associated benefits with financial intermediation nationwide. And that is what we are doing today.
And the beneficiaries are also here to say thank you.
We are very, extremely happy with this support. We will use this support. One, our motorcycles have spent a long time without service, without operation. Naturally, most of these machines may likely be faulty, and we will use this support to service our motorcycles and to feed our families.
Finally, we head to Ebonyi State to see how the program launch was executed. Mr. Obadigbo Okonkwo is the representative of the federal government.
This program is planned and established by the federal government. Indeed, the President of Nigeria approved a plan that the Vice President is chairing to help Nigerians bear and survive the problems of COVID-19. But the side of the one that I am involved in is for micro, small, and medium enterprises survival fund. That is the side that concerns here today. But as I'm here in Ebonyi State, there are actually 4 launches going on in Nigeria today.
Expectedly, the potential beneficiaries are grateful, but they also express the expectation from the federal government.
In the past, the promises of the federal government have come to pass. Whatever they say, they do. So I'm of a high spirit that this one must come to pass too, like the other ones. So it will be as in the past, that the things they promise us, they normally give us.
The government have tried for all these Okada riders and everybody that is suffering in Ebonyi State in order to bring this program issue to help us. They are wanted to help those poor people that is not doing anything.
My expectations from the federal government, from the governor, and from the people, especially the steering committee who are handling this issue, is to make sure that they just gave us exactly what the federal government and the governor planned for the poor people.
Small businesses are in for a good time as the federal government has vowed to sustain its far-reaching interventions, all embedded in its economic recovery and growth plan through the Bank of Industry and other relevant stakeholders. Now, aside from the post-COVID-19 interventions, the Bank of Industry has a wide variety of funds and interventions that small businesses can benefit from. Reach out to the Bank of Industry today by visiting their website at boi.ng or call at any of their branches closest to you. And that will be our package on the program for today. Many thanks for watching. I'm Kayode Alayode. Bye now.